YouTube, Shuriken Shobi here with a review of the Shuriken Sentai Ninninger Shuriken Gattai DX Shurikenjin. So this is the main mecha for the Ninjas, and it is very off the wall. This was released in February 2015 for about 8,200 yen, give or take. This is the first release version with some pretty chrome lettering down here, as well as a sticker that says it comes with 3 extra Shuriken Blades, and we'll take a look at those. So let's go ahead and get this guy open and take a look. So included is the Otomonin Shuriken, this being the core and very much an integral part of this robot because it's its face and the helmet. So it is very much necessary. Do not lose this core, guys. Otherwise, you will not have a Shurikenjin. And it is very much a very unique core. It does come by default with 2 different blades. The red one being the main Shurikenjin formation. And the blue one being the Drago Formation. And they're pretty similar to their actual counterparts. Here is the red one. And as you can see, it's basically the same base design, except a little bit more squished together, and it has those gold accent pieces on it. Same thing with blues. Same base design, but with the extra kind of gold and dragony bits attached to it. So those are very much different. Now you also have, as a first release bonus, if you buy it after watching this review, chances are you will not get these. So I do apologize for that, but that's out of my control. But you do get these 3 additional Shuriken Blades, of white, yellow, and pink. Or yellow, white, and pink if you're going in order, but that's not the point. But these are pretty much identical to the ones that you get with the other Shuriken. As you can see here, Shurikenjins. And hers is pretty much the same thing. I think it's a little bit different shade of white, probably because this one's a little bit cleaner than the other one is. So these will be the same as the other Shuriken Blades, so there really isn't anything new added to this. The only benefit of having these is that if you wanted to do like a Shuriken cosplay or something, you would have to have it look like this to be accurate to the belt. That's really it. I mean, you could attach this to the head, and I will take pictures of that for the photo gallery, but it doesn't add anything to the formation, and I don't think that will actually ever be used in the show, since yellow, white, and pink don't have actual formations with Shurikenjin. So these will be the same as the ones you get with the individual Shuriken releases. So it's not a first release bonus that you necessarily lose anything if you miss out on. So if we cycle through these sounds,
Otomonin Shuriken, Shinobimaru, Dragomaru, Dumpmaru, Wanmaru, Byunmaru.
So go through all 5 of the Otomonin as well as the activation noise.
Otomonin Shuriken.
And of course, with the activation noise being that, based off a button press, you can kind of guess there's no activation noise normally. So it acts quite a bit like a Gashapon or candy toy one would if those existed. As of right now, they don't. But yeah, so a pretty neat little Shuriken with quite a handful of sounds. And here we have the 5 individual Otomonin. And we're going to start with Byunmaru because it's kind of long and takes up a lot of space. So basically, you're looking at a Russia at the core. We just had Tokyuger, and we have another train in our mecha lineup this year. But it's definitely a lot stylized compared to what we got through Tokyuger, so it's different enough for me to not particularly care. I would have liked to see a different take on something else, but given the fact that they were making this the legs, there really isn't a whole wide selection of vehicles to choose from. But it does look nice balance between the pink and the black, breaking our streak of very pink mecha. So much to the fact that you have the red legs here, and then you move on to the end, and it's white, because this is where Wanmaru sits. So if we take a little old Wanmaru, Shurikenja's Otomonin, I love Wanmaru. It is basically the most useless mech ever, I think. But I love it. I love dogs. Dogs are great, and it's adorable. It really is. So you can sit Wanmaru in the little base of Byunmaru here, and kind of roll it around. And that is an option if you want Byunmaru to lay down, or Wanmaru rather. It can peg right in there, and that is mostly for the transformation purposes, but that is where Wanmaru sleeps, as seen in the show. So that is pretty cool. I like the fact that it can sit comfortably in there, even without needing the transformation or anything like that. So that is kind of cool. So if we kind of wheel them out of the way, next up we have Dumpmaru, the dump truck, and the one that pretty much makes everyone question their life. Even Key Ninja is like, why did I get a dump truck? And I'm like, I don't know why you got a dump truck, but hey, dump truck ninjas. It's not bad. It's a big old dump truck. It doesn't actually have like the dump truck sort of motion that you would expect with a dump truck. However, it does have a pretty cool little base functionality here. It's kind of got his helmet there, which I think is kind of cool. But it's got this really neat functionality that if you flip these up, and these apparently throw those little, I don't know what they're called. They're like the little balls with spikes on them that you throw on the road and people will puncture their tires. Those kind of things, except they use them, and ninjas use them to stab people in the foot, basically. Just pretend feet are tires and you have the same sort of thing. So if you take, I don't know what I'm talking about. If you take Shinobimaru here, you can either stand him up and he can just kind of stand up in there and get wheeled around, or he can be even lazier, get him in his sitting position, and he will pop squat and sit right in Dumpmaru as he's driving away. So that is actually really cool. I dig that that functionality quite a bit. And it's more or less, I mean, it's carved out for his backpack, more or less. But I like the fact that it's set up exactly enough for his feet to have that sort of thing. It reminds me a lot of what happened with Wanmaru, and I appreciate that. I think that's kind of cool. Taking a look at Dragomaru, he's probably my favorite of the bunch. We don't get these Western-style dragons too often. In fact, we haven't got a whole lot of variations on dragons. And I like his take. It's very, kind of keeps up with the whole sort of ninja design that they got going on, but still looking like a pretty cool dragon robot. So I definitely dig that. The sword becomes a tail here, and the shield becomes the wings. So that's kind of cool, or vice versa, if that's how you want to look at life. He doesn't do a whole lot, but I really do like the way that he looks. And then we have Shinobimaru, Red's Otomonin. And he doesn't do much. He does have a little bit of arm articulation for transformation purposes. It has a very tight joint right there, and the arms are a very pliable, soft rubber. So be a little bit careful when you're moving his arm. As you keep moving it does get a little bit easier. But that first couple rotations, I felt like I was trying to like pull his arm off, and that was uncomfortable. Head rotates, and then of course you can get him in a sitting position, and he does transform into an arm, and we will see that during the Drago Formation. So there is our little Shinobimaru. You might be thinking, oh, it'd be cool if he had articulation. Well, thanks to Premium Bandai, our next Super Sentai Artisan release is a fully posable figure of Shinobimaru that will fit inside Dumpmaru. So that is kind of cool, and we'll take a look at that in July when it's released. So without further ado, let's start this combination.
Shinobimaru, Dragomaru, Dumpmaru, Wanmaru, Byunmaru.
Alright, first take Byunmaru and Wanmaru, fold them forward and flip them up. Take Dumpmaru, pop off this section, fold that down. This piece will slide right in here. No problem at all, very much like Gosei Great. This arm will fold in and fold in to reveal the hand. Flip that forward and you got yourself your first arm. Slide Dragomaru in and basically dismantle his entire being. And this will fold up and fold around, and you have yourself an arm. The official formation has his arms like this. You can bring them up if you want to. That makes a little bit more streamlined arm, in my opinion, but for accuracy to the show sake, I will leave it like that. Go ahead and while we're at it, take the shield and stick it together right there. And plug that in right there. And the sword will go in the sand, just like so. Finally, take Shinobimaru, make him in a sitting position. These tabs will clip in right on those black tabs right there. And lock him in place, and then lift his arms up to make sure that he can grab those little joystick things, otherwise he can't control Shurikenjin, and that just defeats the purpose entirely. So there we go. We are almost done. Take your Otomonin Shuriken with the red band for the default formation. Flip up that head and pop it on and hear the tune. And here we have Shurikenjin in its normal mode, and I like him a lot. His initial design was very, whoa, what? I mean, when you first hear the news that you're getting a robot that's comprised of a humanoid ninja, a dragon, a dump truck, a dog, and a bullet train, you're kind of sitting there going, those thematically make no sense whatsoever, and that is absolutely true. It does not thematically make sense whatsoever, but basically what the designers said that they were going for is that this is the 39th Sentai, but the 40th year Sentai has been on, and to honor that, they wanted to pull from pretty much anything Sentai has done. So we have like the humanoid robots that they've done before, we have the mythical animals that they've done plenty of times, we have the actual animals that they've done plenty of times. We have construction equipment, which they've done a few times, and then we have the normal vehicles, like the train that we just got off of a season of. And so it's this conglomerate of everything that Sentai has been in past years, and I can appreciate a nod like that. And I understand the little guy controlling the big suit is a very whoa for Sentai Mecha, but it's something that I really like. I love that concept quite a bit, and as off-putting it was at first, it definitely grew on me. And Shurikenjin actually has a lot of cool things going for him. He does have a peg back here, probably for future combination purposes. There's some clips down here and down here, and on the side here that I'm sure will all eventually get used for future combinations. There's some back here, but that's for Drago, and we'll take a look at that shortly. So there's kind of ports all over him that can eventually be used to expand upon this concept. And if you wanted to hear his name again, just press the button on the back of the Shuriken. And you can hear that whenever you want. But yeah, it's a very off-the-wall design, but I have to say that it grew on me quite a bit, and this is a very fun toy. You have a lot of articulation that you otherwise wouldn't normally get in a Sentai Mecha, and that's probably a little bit thanks to the Drago Formation and a little bit thanks to probably future combinations. But his leg movement is quite intricate for a Sentai Mecha. You've got a little bit of articulation going that way. All the way if you can get it past the little hump in Dumpmaru. You have full articulation all the way up and all the way back. So you have 90 degrees both ways. And then you also have a 90-degree bend in the knee. And so you can actually get him in like a full-on sitting position, leading to the rumor that the final formation is going to have Shurikenjin sitting in a seat much like Shinobimaru is right now, but in a larger robot. And I would love the heck out of that idea, just because it would be a little robot piloting a big robot piloting a bigger robot, and it's just like a big robot conglomerate thing going on. So you can get all sorts of pretty neat poses for this guy, and he's actually fairly stable. Will he stay? Please stay. Maybe if I raise the arm a bit. He's not wanting to stay like that, but if you can get him on a little bit flatter of a surface, maybe, you might be able to get him in a pose very much like this, which is pretty cool. And this does rotate too, so you got the arm rotation going on there. So you can actually get quite a decent range of kind of poses for this guy, which is actually really, really cool. I dig that a lot. It's rare that you can pose a Sentai mecha. And they did a really great job on this one for sure. So the Drago Formation is pretty simple. Basically take off the Shuriken helmet and pop off Dragomaru and take out Shinobimaru. Be a little bit careful of him holding those little joystick things, because it kind of jails him in there quite a bit. And of course, take out the sword. For the base body, you're just going to want to sort of make him look like that. And like I said, Shinobimaru actually has a arm mode. Now, I don't know if this is actually official or not, but and I don't actually know what's accurate to the show, because that episode hasn't aired yet as of now. But you can rotate his head around if you would rather have the back of the red helmet facing you. But we'll just leave it facing outward, because why not? And raise that. Then this will just fold over and fold into place, and there you have an arm. And we'll be seeing quite a bit of that arm mode at some point in the future. I do apologize for that. So make Dragomaru in a similar sort of sitting position, and he will peg right into where Shinobimaru was. And you can swing these around so that he's holding the joysticks, because even dragons need to operate their giant robots. And I don't know if this is necessary or not, but you can flip that around so that the little handpiece is cradled in the little foot holders. Now back here, simply split these apart. These will peg in right here, and these will peg in right here. And then finally the tail will clip into those pegs right down here. Take your Otomonin Shuriken with the blue blade attached, flip that all the way around so it forms the jaw for the dragon, and that will peg right into this open slot right here and activate a new noise. So here is the Drago Formation, and I dig it. It's not the greatest dragon we've ever got, or the most convincing dragon, or anything like that. But it's definitely neat, considering you're getting a decently convincing dragon out of a bullet train, a dog, a dump truck, a dragon, and a little dude. So I can respect that. The tail is definitely actually really nice. I like the effect the tail gives. The wings, I wish were a little bit bigger, but what are you gonna do? It just looks like he has a giant body and these tiny little wings. I don't think he'd get airborne with that. But I like the effect that the helmet has in terms of a mouth. That's kind of cool. The arms are definitely big and bulky and very not dragon-like. But, hey, what can you do? I still think it's a pretty neat formation. And finally, there is one last thing you can do with the shurikens that are actually really fun. So remember way back in the Ichibanto, I pointed out how each of these have a little flip-out helmet and tabs. That's right, each of these shurikens are compatible with Shurikenjin. Now, no new sounds are activated, but you can pop each and every shuriken with that compatibility on top of Shurikenjin to make a new formation. Now, I don't think this will ever be used in the show. I think it's just a fun toy thing. But it gives him Aka Ninja's head, and I think that's pretty neat. Here it is with Ao Ninja. And with Shuriken Ninja. I kind of hope it's used in the show at some point, because I think it's kind of cool, actually. But we shall see. But it's an effect that I find really fun. We'll go ahead and do it with Ki Ninja and Momo Ninja whenever we get a hold of their shurikens. So overall, I like Shurikenjin a lot more than I was anticipating. If you can look past the weird 5 random things aspect of it, it is an incredibly fun toy with a decent amount of posability, which is strange for a Sentai mecha, but it's something that makes it really fun. And the upcoming Otomonin seem to add a lot to the formations as well, so it'll be interesting to see what else the line brings in the future. But for now, if you can get look past that weird design sort of thing that's got going on, it is quite a bit of fun, and I do recommend picking it up. Thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.